I say this as an immigrant who deeply believes in the promise and foundational goodness of the United States. My family came to this country when I was a young child for the promise of its potential, a country based on meritocracy. I was raised by a single mom who worked 2 minimum wage jobs to support us. Nothing was handed to me. I played by the rules. I overworked and I overperformed at every turn. And because of the miracle of the possibilities of the United States, I personally witnessed dust turn into gold. And I am not unique. That is the greatness of this country. I have seen America at its best in everyday people, in government, in military, in immigrants who choose this country again and again, in students who still believe public service matters, in citizens of every stripe who continue showing up for their communities. A country that sent 4 historic figures to circle the dark side of the moon with the Artemis II launch, all in hopes for a better future for humankind. Alliances and democracies are strongest when we remember that patriotism does not require uniformity of thought. It requires a shared commitment to one another and to the common good. I grew up in Cincinnati, a conservative city in southwestern Ohio, just miles from the Mason-Dixon line, the Civil War official demarcation between slave-owning and free states. From an early age, I was surrounded by people who thought fundamentally differently than I did on every possible metric on the political spectrum. And those differentiations did not matter to any of us. We saw one another first as neighbors, friends, fellow community members. People helped one another because it was the right thing to do. They were salt of the earth. The Americans and the Dutch have stood beside one another for centuries, through wars, through democratic struggles, through moments of triumph and moments of profound uncertainty. Diplomacy and history teach us that relationships survive because people remain committed to one another, especially through disagreement. The Dutch understand that vigorous debate and respectful compromise are not signs of weakness. They are signs of democratic maturity. The foundations of this country are stronger than any one administration or any one human. Democracy requires argument, and it also requires grace. We need leaders willing to lower the temperature rather than inflame it. Citizens willing to listen, communities willing to rebuild trust. The leaders history remembers most favorably are those who remained focused on the work itself. They understood that true leadership is measured by the lives improved through the quiet, often difficult work of building trust, strengthening institutions, and leaving something better than when they found it. And institutions like this one, willing to continue building bridges. The future of the transatlantic relationship will not be determined only by presidents or prime ministers. It will also be determined by everyday citizens willing to stay engaged with one another across oceans and across differences. That is the real work of democracy and diplomacy. The partnership between the United States and the Netherlands has endured for centuries. It is built on something stronger than politics. It is built on trust, friendship, a shared belief that freedom, dignity, and democracy matter. That is a legacy worth protecting, and it is a future worth building together. The Netherlands gave me far more than a diplomatic posting. It gave me friendships, perspective, joy, and memories that will remain with me always. Thank you for the extraordinary honor of being with you all and welcoming me home this evening. Thank you to each and every one of you for all that you do to strengthen this remarkable friendship between our nations. And thank you for believing, as I do, that our best days are still ahead of us.